I'm starting to realize how much you get more attention if you're rude and offensive towards a certain group of people. So, first things I want to say, since this video is going to offend a lot of people, I am no religion. I am no group of people. I don't identify as anything besides a boy. I think transgender people are sometimes attractive. Other times, I think they're fucking crazy and use emotion instead of logic. Three, wait, that wasn't three. There's more than, I'm not gonna. I don't like liberals. Why? Because they make no sense. I like conservatives. Anyways, another thing. I like girls, but I don't like vagina. I find girls attractive, but I don't like vagina. I find tits attractive, but I don't like vagina. I won't kiss a dude, but sometimes I see a guy and he looks good. There we go. I I like Trump. He says a lot of truthful things and he makes a lot of sense. Did you know he wants to not ban, but make a thing, I believe it's an executive order, I'm not sure, where Muslims can't get into the country. Wait, shut up. They have to wait 70 days before they can enter the United States. That's a good thing. Watch Paul Joseph Watson. I have so many Muslim followers. You gotta understand the Middle East is a bunch of different places. It's not just one place. It's like the United States. There are a bunch of places in the Middle East. I actually really like Muslim people. I do. We complain way too much because the media tells us to complain. You see, the liberals are the ones that are the easiest to manipulate because they think with emotion. They're not conservative and think with logic. Let's see. I am not against the idea to have guns. If you are a responsible human being, not a paranoid religious fuck that hides in the corner with a gun, terrified of the government, if you are a responsible person and you know how to work a firearm, have one. But the only reason liberals don't like the idea of firearms being allowed is because the media has told us that guns are bad, guns kill people. Well, no shit. It matters who has the gun. Get a gun safe. Make sure your kids don't play with the guns. See, what the government will do, and mostly just the elites, will pay someone to do something bad. And this is completely true. They will pay someone to do something bad and shocking, like massacre a school, one kid massacring a school with a gun, which happened. But where do you think he got that gun? Where do you think he got? And there was more. There was two Indian kids that murdered their parents. And it's like either they're paid to do that and then they get released, or the media convinces them to do that by all the stupid shit we listen to, like music, modern day music. I mean, even in the 90s when I was a kid, music was at least better. But in the 50s, I love 50s music. 50s music is wonderful. Because I grew up in the 90s and my parents would only play 50s to 80s music. It was very rare that my dad would like New Age music. Because New Age music pretty much sucks. It teaches you. My mom, it's just got me in like a negative mood. When we were in the car on the way home from my grandpa's house, my mom was listening to rap music. And I'm like, why do you like this? It was a guy talking about him hitting a hoe and shooting people. You wonder why the black community, and I really mean this, is so incredibly violent. Not all of them. Not all black people are violent. Oh my god, I even met one today. One. He's a human being. I met a black dude today and he was funny and I liked him. But it's almost like black people have a superpower that the white elites are afraid of and they don't want them ever getting to higher status. I don't know, it's just weird. To segregate one color of people, I don't understand it. There has to be more to the reason. But yeah, black people mostly, the ones that don't live in good neighborhoods or anything, mostly the music they look up to and listen to are black rappers. Because every generation with music, it's always been do the trends that the singers are doing. But now, since the Illuminati, the elites, own the music industry, which they have for quite some time, all the music has subliminal messages in it. No matter what, this song Anaconda, that is not even a song. That's a subliminal sexual message. Like lots and lots of subliminal sexual messages. It's it's useless. I tried to explain to my mom how when you hear those things repeatedly, oh, I love this song. It's like, oh, you listen to this more than once? Like, the more you listen to one certain song, the more you'll remember it. When I was in junior high and I was listening to Breaking the Habits like crazy, the Linkin Park song, I I was more aggressive and more depressed. Why? Because that song, the message to that song is not a good one. It sounds cool, but I've learned that songs don't, it doesn't matter if it sounds cool. It matters the message that they're trying to convey to your subconscious. If you listen to, because there was a news article of a kid who shot his parents because in one of the death metal records he was listening to, this happened a long time ago. It had, if you, because most records, if you play them backwards, have a subliminal message to them. In this audio, it didn't have to be put backwards. There was just a subliminal, slight subliminal message in the song to shoot someone. It literally said, shoot everyone. And what did that kid do? After listening to it enough times, he shot his parents. He killed his parents. Subliminals are so effective, it's amazing, and yet we don't use them. Not enough people use subliminals. I underestimate how many people are actually on this planet. I constantly kept thinking over and over, if the pole shift hits, then who will watch my YouTube videos? The world is fucking huge. We're actually overpopulating. That's the point of the FEMA camps, to underpopulate, get rid of some people, make room for more. But they're not going to drag you into FEMA camps. They're going to say, come with us. We can help you. When the weather is terrible, when there's constant craziness. My sister always says, travel. You got to travel. You got to see more places. I see on the news, not the fake news, the real news. Look up Paul Joseph Watson. He shows you what's actually happening. Those peaceful protests? No, those are assaults. Catching buildings on fire, punching people, spraying them in the eyes, that's violent. That isn't a peaceful protest. And the left, the leftists, as in the liberals, they they think they're doing good things, but they're not. They're retarded. They're hurting people. They're choosing to get mad emotionally. They aren't using their brain. And about a year ago, 2 years ago, I predicted this. I said, the world won't end, but it will be in complete chaos. The reason where I live isn't complete chaos is because I live in the suburbs. I don't live in a big city or a big town or a big college, especially near colleges. Oh my God. That's kind of why I don't go back to colleges because everyone's going to be talking about Trump. Do you really think I want to hear that shit? Do you really think that's important to my brain? No. I want to meet people who are entrepreneurs. I want to meet people who are motivated, determined. I don't want to hear a fucking stupid person talk about Trump and how it's unfair that he's president. I don't want that. I'm so happy that all this bullshit didn't happen when I was in high school. I mean, it did, which I think Bush. Pretty sure it was Bush. Maybe. But I mean, it's the same thing. When I was really young, I'd say like 16 maybe. 15? I was probably 15 when it happened. I don't remember the year. Uh, it was 9/11 happened. And my family, my mom, sisters, and dad, and my sisters mostly just agreed with my parents because that's what most younger kids do. And they were like, the Twin Towers exploded, everyone died. And so my brain just said, well, why are you guys sad? You didn't know anyone that was in the accident. How can you feel bad? I always wonder this. How people who read in the newspaper that someone died and they're like, oh, with this fake, oh, those poor people. It's like you didn't even fucking know them. You have no emotional connection to them. I cried when my grandpa died. And I cried when, because my other grandpa's almost dying. That's an emotional connection. But when you just see on the news and you're a conformist fuck, then you're going to be like, oh, they're crying, so I better cry. That way I can fit in and be just like everyone else. It's like I was not wrong as a kid. I made a lot of amazing, awesome points. But as an adult, I learned people are really fucking stupid. And if I just don't say anything, they shut up and walk away. If I'm gonna do what I did as a kid, which I would directly tell the people that were older than me, what you're doing is wrong. Sometimes I was right, sometimes I was wrong when I was a kid. But like my dad blasting loud music when I had no bedroom and I heard it late at midnight and I had epilepsy, and I said, turn the music down. It's hurting my head, and then I would have seizures all the time. Logic 101. You caused the seizures to happen. And they say it's your choice. You choose to do what you do. I couldn't choose. I was like 10, and no, I didn't have a bedroom until I turned 16. My whole entire life, I had no bedroom. I think I might have when I was 3, and I was in my room with my sisters, sharing 3 people in one room. But my room was a curtain. I grew up with a curtain. That's probably why when I look at houses, I want a 5 bedroom house, even though I'd be the only person living there. It's a thing from my childhood, which I can admit that I just want a lot of rooms. My dad would not build me a bedroom, just a wall with a door, which would cost about $2,000 in an estimate. It could even be a shitty door, just something that has insulation and blocks noise out. Now they have a device called Muzo, I think, Muzo, which sends out electromagnetic fields to block out any outside sound. And you can do it inverted so no one can hear what you're saying. It completely makes a force field around you. I think it's called Muzo, Muzo. I want to buy one, but they're $250. Unless you go on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, I get the two mixed up. Unless you go on there, you can get one for $150 right now if you pre-order it. I'm just telling you about it. I grew up with a complicated childhood. A really overly logical young boy with an under logical, if that makes sense, no logic family, which are all conformists due to anxiety and worrying what other people think about them. And I was the only different one. And that's it. 15 minutes.